Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Episode número 2. Episode número 2. Hi friends, it is Ileana here. Welcome back to another episode of a very fabulous podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. I know it was a little bit of a mayhem and, digital difficulties, like stuff, camera stuff, but I tried my best and I did not want to not upload it like how I am. I just like to be very authentic, very raw. I don't want it to be so structured, and obviously I do have my little episode 2 guideline, to help me because of my ADHD. You know how it is. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here and listening or watching. If you're watching, I truly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. It would help out so much just to get on the good side of the algorithm on YouTube. But yeah. I don't know, I kind of went off topic, but today it's gonna be a bit of a personal. Obviously, all the episodes are going to be personal, but I'm in this like feeling of I finally feel true to my heart, like what it is that I'm supposed to be doing in life. As far as like I just have so many outlets that I'm constantly being pulled at, but the main subject today is my enlightenment moment regarding changing my focus from fashion to music, as well as how my life story and healing my inner child has helped me just stay in a positive mindset, just to keep prospering and to keep keep moving forward. Like that's why I wanted to make a podcast, because I think normally when someone meets me or knows me, they normally just think of me being like, outgoing or like happy and stuff. But little do they know, our sister has gone through some struggles. I mean, I feel like I'm 27 now, and there's always been some type of drama, some type of struggles. But again, we all have our own story. I'm not trying to belittle anybody, and I'm not trying to get pity whatsoever, but I just want to share because we're supposed to share because we all learn from each other, right? But the main thing is that like I just kind of had to like in a way analyze myself. Throughout these years, I've been like psychoanalyzing myself, and I feel like now I'm in a way better mental state of mind. But I kind of like gave myself a pat on the back because here I am, I have really high standards for myself, and not even realizing like girl, like you've done really, really good for yourself regarding your situation. So this episode is going to be deep, and we're gonna dive in, but now that since we're on that topic, so when I say about personal struggles, like, and I know I want to have an episode that I truly dive into, the childhood traumas that I've gone through, and even traumas in general as an adult, because I feel like a lot of it currently right now, like if you've seen some of my videos, I'm like living at home. Like I live with my brother and my dad right now. My sister now is just staying at my mom's. But man, it's been quite a whirlwind. But everything that we've gone through, good and bad, it's how it's supposed to be, and I know I'm probably gonna get like some controversy, like of course there's horrible things that happen in life, but it's just how it's supposed to be, because you're supposed to learn from it. You're supposed to alchemize that energy into something positive, and to not lose hope, not lose faith that everything is going to work out at the end. And I wanted to talk about just a few things like recently, and maybe like I said in another episode, I'll talk about more of my actual childhood wounds, regarding abuse, mental, sexual, because I know that can be very triggering. So I just want to, even for myself, I just want to be mentally prepared to talk about it. And I feel like tears coming down my eyes right now because I just recently just had, one, your brain blocks away that trauma because, they don't want you to remember the horrible things, the pain that you went through. But just realizing that, thinking back like, wow, like, how come I didn't remember, that what I went through. And it's like, well, duh, like, your brain doesn't want you to remember, So like, through the lockdown, my anxiety was just going really bad. I realized I have body dysmorphia. I think I finally, in a way, conquered it. Like, I feel like I'm seeing myself now as who I am, but I feel like because my head is so fucked up that I hope to be able to see myself like how you guys, how I'm perceived, like, but because of growing up and constantly being belittled and judged and saying I was not skinny enough or not, or I was fat. And like, I look back at pictures of like middle school and like elementary school, and like I've always had, cheeks, I have a round face, but like I'm like, why was I being called fat? Like, people don't, yeah, people and family, and I had my own personal struggles again through my body dysmorphia. Like, when I was actually, a little bit chunky, I didn't even realize it. I was like, I look at those pictures, from 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm like, I didn't realize like I was chunky. Like, I had gained, like I knew I gained weight, but I wasn't like, because I've always been a healthy person. And again, having that judgment of not feeling good about myself and being told not to eat so much and or not to eat that, you know what I mean? In high school, like I was so caught up in the weight that like I was 105 pounds. I would count my calories like hardcore. I was in extracurricular activities, so like I was doing tennis. I had PE my last class, and then I would go to tennis practice, or like I used to also be in track and field. And even getting back home, I would go on a run, and I feel like that's why I also have bad knees now. And can anybody else relate? Um, because I just put so much pressure on myself, but it was because I just wanted to like have that, you know, acceptance. But what's more important is you accepting yourself. So I feel like now that I'm 27 and kind of realizing like all those struggles, it's themselves, about just like the body dysmorphia in general, that I feel good about myself now, and I'm happy where I'm at. I don't view the weight as like I'm trying to be skinny. I just view it as like I'm doing this for my body, I'm doing this for my soul, for my future kids. Like, I want to be a good vessel, to have a family. And I mean, just shedding all that trauma, because your body stores trauma as well. And I just didn't know about that. And you guys can do your own research, but it's a thing. Like, your body stores trauma, and sometimes it's hard to lose it. And that's what was going on with me. Like, I went through a breakup, and we were together for a long time. Not like that, but like I was, more than 5 years. I mean, that's a pretty big chunk of your life, I feel. And also realizing like I'm like, I feel like he never even knew me, like I'm barely, learning, or like just realizing like who am I, like, really, like, without anybody like judging me, without anybody like telling me what to do, what to say. I've just really realized like who I am, and that's why I really wanted to do this episode today. Like, the title, like, I need to get this off my chest, because I want I want you guys also to just meditate and think about, like, who are you really? What is it that really makes you happy? And nevertheless of your struggles, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to make this episode too dark, but like I said, I went through some childhood abuse. I went through some things as a teenager that I didn't even realize. You know, and then just even now as an adult, like, I'm so private. Like, that's why I can't wait to just have my own place, because I just want to be in a good state of mind, privacy, and like just realizing things. And like, I'm not ready to talk about the childhood stuff yet, but I'm getting there. I'm just in a way learn to accept it and just say, hey, this is part of my story. I'm supposed to share my experiences, but I know we're all called to at a certain time, so I'm not ready for that, to talk about that. But with all the negativity and all the struggles recently, I feel like I'm in the best state of me just like wanting to be creative, and I know part of that drives from all the pain that I've endured in my life. So I know I mentioned about like how fashion was my main focus, and now I'm switching to music. So like, okay, so ever since I was little, I was always singing. I grew up going to, I'm from Tecate, Baja California, Mexico, and there I hope it's still there. It's like a cultural center. It's called Casa de la Cultura. And I grew up, during summer they would always put me in classes. I did painting, I did piano classes, I did opera, singing opera, which my teacher, he actually left our small town and is living in Italy, and he's an opera singer now. But music has been such a heavy part of me, and like I kind of like hit myself in the head, like, how come I didn't realize it sooner enough? But again, everything is divine timing, friends. Because if you know me or have seen, like, my brother makes music. He was started as a DJ, but he's always, sorry, I think that was my voice. He's always made music also. He's a producer and has his record label, and it's really, really cool stuff. Everything is always linked down below, that way you guys can support the station and his music. But I'm like, hello, you have a brother that knows how to make music. Like, and today he gave me a piano synth. I used to have a keyboard growing up, that my dad bought me because I was able to like play and like sing, and so I'm really excited to mess with that. But before I get sidetracked, like, music has always been part of my life. And then moving here to the States, and like on top of dancing, like I've always done dancing. I've done jazz, hip hop. I did ballet a little bit, but it was a little boring for me, so I stopped going. But the arts have always been part of my life, music, just everything is tied into music. And in 5th grade, I moved to the States in 4th grade, and in 5th grade, I was we had a talent show, and I sang in the talent show. Little Ileana sang Nelly Furtado, I'm Like a Bird. And even that story is funny because like I had practiced a certain cover of the song, and then they chopped it up, and then I think it was politics. I don't know. As crazy as that seemed, I feel like they were just trying to mess with my audio, but she killed it nevertheless. And during this time, I think in middle school, I was already writing songs. So all my life, I've written songs, right? And it was me just expressing myself, writing it down, doing poems. And like as a grown up now, like when I was, in my fashion world, I was like, no, well, my brother says, and this is the truth, songwriters always get paid first in music. So like if I wrote a song and and Nelly Furtado wanted to sing it, like I would just get a bigger cut out of everybody. The songwriter always gets a bigger cut. So I was like, oh well, I know I'll probably just do that, be a songwriter for people. But I was like, at the end of the day, like I've always wanted to be on the stage, and it's just because I've always been on the stage. Like in my kindergarten in Mexico, I went to private schools because it's very common. And my kindergarten carrusel, and it was an artistic based kindergarten, and we did parades and we put on shows and we danced, like did choreography. So like, and we would get like custom costumes made for our performances, and like it's just, again, like, duh, I'm like, how come I didn't realize it? And again, I'm not a Mariah Carey, okay? Well, I mean, I've never tried to sing like her, but I do sing pretty good, and that's why I was like, man, like, but again, divine timing, it's just she's always been, you know meant to be in the spotlight. And again, another like moment hit me, because in my other podcast, right, I said, or I don't know if it was my weekly diaries video, I was saying like the only reason why I'm on social media is because I have my divine missions from the Lord. Like, if you believe in, I was about to say Jesus, but yeah, if you believe in God, like I'm more spiritual now. I grew up religious, but I was never really religious. Like, that's a whole subject in its own. But the missions that I've had, I thought that was just that, but it's like, no, like, I'm here to help the animals. I'm here to help share all of my stories, because I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people who have gone through similar things, and I just want to say, like, I'm still standing. Like, after everything that I've gone through, like, people would probably be like, if I was a drug addict, like, oh, I understand because of da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? But like, no, I've never done any hard drugs. I'm proud of that. Really steered myself. I used to drink a lot as a teenager. Now I understand why, because I was just trying to numb the pain. But anyways, I'm here to elevate everybody's frequencies, and music does something to us as humans, to animals, to you feel those frequencies. And I'm like, it all makes sense. Like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be like, performing worldwide, and like raising the energies in those places, because God knows we need it. A lot of things are going on in our world right now, and that's why I don't see the news, because it really like hurts my heart. And it's like, typically it's like it's always negative things. Where's the news outlet that is like talks about all the positive in the world? Because I don't want to be like dragged down, and it really does like affect my mood. And I just like, I already have like my worries about the animals, and trying to like convert everybody to be a vegan. But I'm like, music is the one thing that we can all relate to, that we can all hear, that we can all feel. Even if you don't speak the language, like, you feel the music, you're gonna feel good. You know what I mean? So I'm like, gosh, like, she was always born for the stoplight, damn it. So it's like, it's not about the ego, it's about me using that as, it's not about me like, oh, to be recognized or anything. No, it's about me just spreading love. Like, that's what I'm here to do. And I'm still gonna do this because I do love sharing my stories. Like, I want to grow the podcast to its full potential, that we can go live and have guests and keep sharing positivity, to just not give up. I don't want anybody to give up, and to follow their dreams, because that's what I want to do. Like, I want to help people tap in and see, like, what is it truly that makes you happy, because that's what we're supposed to do. This world is full of distractions, and unfortunately, we don't live in the world that we can just live. We live in this monopoly. I always compared life as like the game of Monopoly. If you play, you know what I mean. Like, so it's like, buy this, buy that, or people try and buy everything, or like the money. And it's like, yeah, money is great, but it's not like, let's use it for the good. There's so many things. All right, I'm going off tangent and stuff, but sorry, I'm just here having my notes, and like another like realization of it. I don't think I've shared this before, but like growing up, I think I was in middle school and elementary school. Sometimes like on the radio, I don't know if you ever heard, they would have announcements of like so and so talent agency is gonna be at this hotel. Like I would go to those. I would beg my mom to take me. And the second time that I went, I was actually got called, and it was an agency that worked with Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and they liked me. They actually liked me and my little sister at the time. They wanted us to be like in a show, but they wanted me to take my braces off to fully do it, and then my mom didn't let me. But again, everything's divine timing, because if that would have settled, you know how that industry is, and I would have done anything with my traumas, I would have let them walk over me most likely, just to get that check for my parents. Because at the time, like moving here, like we were good middle class family, growing up. We had our campers and our quads, and money wasn't an issue. But after the recession, after 9/11, like my dad businesses took a downfall, unfortunately. So I mean, I would have easily just been like, sure, yeah, whatever, just so like the screams at home would stop, regarding financial issues. So I'm like glad that I didn't go, and I know that was pretty deep what I just said, but that's just part of it all, friends. A lot of pain. And I know this might be surprisingly to you, if you know me personally, or grew up with me and are watching. Yeah, it wasn't the best, but I always chose love and light, because I didn't want to stay in that darkness. I didn't want to use my energy for the bad, you know. And that's why I'm like, gosh, it just all makes sense. I'm really happy with how everything's played out, because even myself, like, I felt like I lost my mojo. Now I feel like I'm back. I like see myself for who I am, and I love myself for who I am. And I'm just really, really excited to just keep working on the projects. Like, I recently found my Hello Kitty songbook that I had growing up. Unfortunately, when my parents divorced, their separation happened as soon as, I mean, they had really, really bad problems at home. And the last year of my high school, that's when things really took a downfall, and financially and mentally. My parents filed for bankruptcy. We lost our home. My mom, I did an early acceptance to go to FITM, the Fashion Institute, because of the same reason. Like, I just didn't want to be home, and I was just ready to like get my life in order, and that's why I feel like I also steered away from like really following my passion, which is music, because I was just like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go to school, work the system, like that's what we're supposed to do, right? Like, get out of high school, go to college. But it's like, and I'm so grateful for going to FITM. Like, that's why I would not change anything in how my life has played out, because I learned so much. I've met really nice people, good friends. I was able to go to LA for one year, and my friends let me crash with them because I could not afford to have my own place. Like, I was working and going to school. So that in itself is a story. So we'll definitely touch more base of my college years. But I'm gonna take a pause here real quick. Get yourself a drink, or if you need to use the restroom, go use the restroom. I'm gonna change my memory card, so I will be right back. Okay, friends, we're back. Sorry about that. You know how it is, but hopefully, I figured out the whole camera situation, so it's not gonna be chopped anymore. But she just had to lower the resolution. But yeah, guys, It's been quite tough, but the main subject today is, that's why I just really wanted to get this off my chest, because I'm just so ready. Like I just want to throw away my Fab Shack. Like that's how much like my passion is. Like now I'm really ready to start putting music out. Now with that keyboard that my brother gave me, and I'm gonna be focusing on like doing some covers just to put myself out there, but make them cool. I suggest looking up BBC, or I'll link it down below. It's Tame Impala, if you know the band, or Kevin Parker. He recreated like two songs himself, like actually jamming. So I want to do that. I'm gonna audition people to. I've always wanted to be in a band, so I'm gonna have my own band. Obviously it's gonna be me singing, and on the keys, and I just recently, that's what this podcast is a little bit late also, because I recently got sick as well, and it was like really bad, but it was just after my enlightenment moment. So I think I was just ascending to my highest timeline of being a pop star, and just family stuff that I was going through. But nothing, like the song "Ain't Nothing Gonna Break My Stride." Nobody's gonna, how does it, what does it say? Nobody's gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on grooving. We have to just keep on grooving. And yeah, sorry, my voice is not the best right now because I just got sick, and I'm not warmed up. I'm just kidding. So yeah, I just get excited. Yeah, I'm just really, really excited, friends. And I know there's probably people are going to be like, what? She's doing music? She was just doing fashion. But like, fashion is still my passion. And all my designs are actually I'm going to be wearing them for my performances. I have some cool things planned already that I want to do. So hopefully you guys can come out to those events once we put them together. We recently acquired like some LED screens, because obviously I'm going to be producing shows for my brother, because he also makes music, Fuzzy. And I'm just really excited. I just want to like with all my art and my creativity, and the Fab Shack, obviously that's what pays the bills, so I'm not gonna not stop doing that. And I do love it, and eventually like I want to have it, have its own storefront, run its own business. But when with that, like, that's what I wanted to say is, hopefully this gives you guys some inspiration to not give up on your dreams. Okay, I want you to tap into your inner child and say, what was me doing as a little kid that just brought me so much happiness and joy, and how can I make money off from it, right? Like, that's why, like, eventually, like, once we're able to like take calls, or like if you ever want to send me a comment or an email, or like any advice that you would like me to talk about, I would love to do that, because I just want people to just be able to like do what they love, get their money, and that way you can live life, that way you don't have to work and feel like that you're not happy. I was there, like I said, I worked and went to school. I worked part-time but went to school full-time, and then I finished school, and that's when I was working full-time, because I thought like, hey, like I can do really good at this fancy store. Like, I was trying to get into their visual department. I applied. They took forever. I was the only one that brought in their portfolio, and somehow I didn't get the job. They gave it to a guy that was working at Forever 21. No tea, no shade, but I was like, politics, whatever. But again, everything is divine protection, because if I would have gotten that job, I would have probably stayed there. I probably would have, not gotten to this point now that I have my own store. I'm doing my designs, my creativity. So again, think about rejection as the Lord's protection. So if it didn't work out, don't say why me. Be like, you know what, it probably happened because of this. It's everything. I let go of control. That was one of my main things that I struggled with, and I probably will always struggle, is letting go of control, because I always wanted to control everything, every outcome, because I was just so used to, not having control with my family, and just being yelled at, being lashed at. Like, the control made me feel in control. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this, like that. So, just let go of control and live life. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds super cliche, but once you do, you're going to feel better. And even if you're still in the 9 to 5, hustle, mama, hustle. If you want to get out of that hustle, think of a way that you can do it. You know, if you want to start your own business, start your own business. Or if you want to, you know, like, people are happy like door dashing because people get money now, you know, just being Uber drivers and stuff. And you get to have your own personal life, or if you have a family, you get to be with your family. So yeah, friends, we got this, okay? But I know that was a big of ups and downs. I know how I am with my messages and with my ramblingness. So I appreciate you watching through, and hopefully this one was a little bit more, you know, better in how it was. I'm glad I was able to get the camera going for you. That way it wasn't so chopped. But I think I'm gonna be concluding this episode today, friends. If you watched episode number 1, you saw that I closed it with a poem that I made, so I'm gonna be doing that again. But I also want to be closing it with a message that I wrote down, just to kind of conclude it and bring back to today's message and what we were discussing. So I wrote down: everyone is and has gone through their own personal struggles. Some might go through really intense hardships, and some will not. But the main objective is to stay positive, keep the faith, and harness that energy to alchemize it to positive. Never give up and never surrender. Okay? I know I just touched on a few things, and once, like I said, once I'm ready to talk about everything else that has happened to me, you'll be like, damn, yeah, we're still going, friends, and I'm not stopping. I'm only gonna use that for the better of the world and for myself. But anyways, all our affiliated links will be linked down below if you want to follow us, check out the music. Everything is down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. I want to do a big giveaway once we get to 100 subscribers. More weekly diaries will be up. I feel like that's a good balance of myself just like uploading it here and there, and then obviously squeezing in a few special videos in between. But today's closing poem goes like this: brick by brick, I feel almost complete. Through struggles and pain I bleed. Though heartaches withstand, I still see the future in me. Yeah, short and sweet, but I felt like that's just how I'm feeling right now. But I hope you liked this episode. Again, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. You guys are awesome for being here. And if you're vibing with my energy, hell yeah, you know what I mean? I'm so thankful, and I can't wait to just keep growing with you, keep sharing. I can't wait to start singing with you and start uploading all the other fun stuff. But thank you so much for watching a very fabulous podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and like, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. And I gotta go because my camera's dying again. We got too much energy going, but I will see you guys soon on the next episode, and subscribe to the channel. Bye, friends, and stay fabulous.